In the 21st century, the world is no longer shaped by a single superpower. A new rivalry has emerged, one that is redefining politics, technology, and global influence. On one side stands the United States, a nation built on freedom, innovation, and decades of global leadership. On the other is China, a rapidly rising power driven by ambition, speed, and centralized control. This is not just a competition between two countries, but a deeper clash of systems, ideologies, and visions for the future. What makes this rivalry unique is that it is not being fought on traditional battlefields, but through economics, technology, influence, and strategic positioning across the globe. For decades, the United States has played a central role in shaping the modern world. Following the end of World War II, it emerged as a dominant global force, helping to rebuild economies, establish international institutions, and promote a rules-based order. Its economy, one of the largest and most influential in the world, continues to drive innovation across industries such as technology, healthcare, and finance. Regions like Silicon Valley have revolutionized digital life, creating platforms and tools that billions of people rely on every day. American companies such as Apple, Google, Microsoft, and Amazon are not just businesses, they are global ecosystems. More importantly, the strength of the United States lies in its values: freedom of speech, democracy, rule of law, and protection of individual rights. These principles have created an environment where ideas can flourish, competition is encouraged, and innovation is constant. At the same time, China's rise has been one of the most significant geopolitical developments of the modern era. From the late 20th century onward, China adopted economic reforms that opened its markets to global trade while maintaining strong political control internally. The result was unprecedented growth, lifting hundreds of millions out of poverty and transforming the country into a global manufacturing hub. Today, China plays a critical role in global supply chains, producing goods that are consumed worldwide. Massive infrastructure projects, modern cities, and technological advancements reflect the scale of its ambition. However, this growth model operates under a system where the government maintains strict oversight over key sectors, including media, technology, and finance. Policies involving censorship, surveillance, and limited political freedoms have raised concerns among many nations, especially when these practices intersect with global digital systems. The competition between the United States and China is most intense in the field of technology, which has become the defining arena of modern power. Artificial intelligence, quantum computing, semiconductor production, and 5G infrastructure are no longer just industries, they are strategic assets. The United States continues to lead through an open and competitive innovation system, attracting talent from around the world and encouraging private sector breakthroughs. Its universities, research institutions, and startups form a dynamic ecosystem that constantly pushes technological boundaries. In contrast, China's approach relies heavily on state support, long-term planning, and coordinated national strategies. While this allows for rapid development and large-scale implementation, it also raises concerns about transparency, data control, and global security. As countries adopt new technologies, they are increasingly forced to consider not just performance, but also trust and governance. Beyond technology, the rivalry extends into global influence and diplomacy. The United States has built a vast network of alliances and partnerships over decades, working closely with countries in Europe, Asia, and other regions to maintain stability and cooperation. Organizations and agreements have allowed it to project influence while promoting shared values such as democracy and human rights. China, meanwhile, is expanding its global footprint through economic initiatives, investing heavily in infrastructure, energy, and transportation projects across developing nations. These investments have strengthened its presence in key regions, but they have also sparked debates about long-term financial dependence and political influence. This contrast reflects two different strategies, one based on long-standing alliances and mutual cooperation, and the other on economic expansion and strategic investment. Another critical dimension of this rivalry is military and strategic power. The United States maintains one of the most advanced and capable military forces in the world, with a global presence that allows it to respond quickly to emerging threats. Its defense systems, naval power, and international bases provide a level of reach unmatched by most nations. China, on the other hand, has significantly modernized its military over the past few decades, focusing on regional dominance, advanced missile systems, and naval expansion. While direct conflict remains unlikely due to the high risks involved, tensions in regions such as the South China Sea and Taiwan Strait continue to highlight the fragile balance between the two powers. Economically, both nations are deeply interconnected despite their rivalry. Trade between the United States and China remains substantial, with supply chains linking industries across both economies. However, recent years have seen increasing efforts to reduce dependence, diversify production, and secure critical resources. Policies aimed at protecting domestic industries, especially in sectors like semiconductors and energy, reflect a broader shift toward economic self-reliance. This gradual separation, often referred to as economic decoupling, could reshape global trade patterns and create new economic blocs in the future. As the world looks ahead, the outcome of this rivalry will play a defining role in shaping the global order. The central question is not only which country will lead, but what kind of system will define that leadership. Will the future be shaped by open societies that prioritize individual freedom, transparency, and innovation? Or will it move towards centralized systems that emphasize control, efficiency, and rapid execution? The United States continues to position itself as a defender of democratic values and open markets, investing in next-generation technologies and strengthening its global partnerships. Its ability to adapt, innovate, and collaborate remains one of its greatest strengths. Ultimately, this is more than just a geopolitical competition. It is a long-term struggle over influence, values, and the direction of global development. The decisions made by these two nations will not only impact their own futures but will also determine how the rest of the world evolves. As this silent rivalry continues to unfold, one thing is clear: the balance of power in the 21st century is still being written, and its final outcome will shape generations to come. If you want to understand how history is unfolding before our eyes, don't miss what comes next. Revisit Xfinity Evolution for deeper insights and powerful stories. Stay informed, stay curious, and join us again on Xfinity Evolution, where the world's biggest events come into focus.